Oh, still hot. I'm actually realizing this is the first time I've spoken all day, so this is like, I don't know, does that make it special? Like the first thing you say every day? Is that special at all? Probably not. But here we are. So, yeah. Today we're drinking a white tea with a whole bunch of coconut flavoring. I don't usually buy teas with a lot of flavoring, but, you know, sometimes I get to buy the tea and sometimes the wife gets to buy the tea. So what can you do? Anyway, today I wanted to show you a game that I recently played on the Midgame server that I'll give away the ending. It was a really lucky win, and you'll see why it was so lucky, I think, because I think I'll try to point out some mistakes on both sides of the game, but especially my own. This is played on the 5-dan level on Midgame, if you're interested, which is where my normal account plays. I also really haven't been playing much online recently. I've been doing problems pretty consistently, but just haven't been playing online Go very much. So it was nice to get an online game in. So anyway, I'm sure everyone out there can relate to winning a game that you shouldn't have. You know, some weird misfortune happens to your opponent and you eke out a lucky win of some sort. So I hope everyone can relate to this here. I think this is not too foreign of a concept. A lucky win and go, even though there's no luck in the game, as it's designed, as it's intended. In this game, I am white, and this is pretty, typical opening, actually quite common. One opponent, takes 4-4 and 4-3, and the other opponent takes 2 4-3s, or 3-4s, depending on your nomenclature. I immediately, reduce. When black plays this, he's looking for the outside, so might as well jump in right now. Black switches to territory, and we play out this Joseki till here. Everything is pretty normal. Of course, black's next move is probably over here, or should be over here, but this move isn't very attractive because black is trying to develop this. Black already has a high stone here. So I would expect black to play something more like this diagonal. It's a little bit weaker of a shape, but it's more optimistic in terms of development. But instead black picks this variation, which is an interesting choice. What black is sort of hoping for, I think, is for white to play here. And then instead of picking either this jump or this diagonal, black is probably even so optimistic to play this. And this leaves a pretty huge shape defect later. But again, it's the fastest way to develop this side of the board. I do not respond in kind. I play this way. Oh, refresh, go back to the game. And this is also a Joseki, I should say. Black switches to the top territory, which I'm actually mostly happy about, or happy enough about, I guess. It's like locally it feels really good for black, but the direction of this black group feels like it's the wrong direction. Just black's taking territory in the second and third line on a side of the board where he had fourth line stones at the start. So I think locally, this is a lot of good points for black. But in terms of overall direction, it feels like a little bit of a minus. Because that also gives me the next move to come back and pincer. And you can see that, depending on what variation black chooses over here, if, I don't know, let's just say black does this, and this wouldn't be a terribly good variation, per se. Actually, it's playable, though. It's playable. I shouldn't say it's that bad. But, at some point in the future, white can actually more or less seal this black corner in on the side and build his own development while attacking. But that's much, much off into the future, because first we got to play this out. And so in this case, again, probably most typical Joseki move here is, whoops, I can't, well, that's actually also, this is probably second most typical. This is probably the most bookish one. And this is, very, very famous Joseki with many variations, although actually I just played the wrong variation. You're supposed to Hane first. I played it the way that Lee Sedol and Hong Jansek play it in the Lee Sedol ladder game. Should make this exchange, and then if black has a ladder, black can play here, right? So this is kind of normal. If you don't have a ladder, you play here and you play this safe one. So I decided to play a trick Joseki. Again, I just like trick Josekis. Who doesn't? Which is this one. And the idea here is that after black extends and cuts, This white stone is actually really, really hard for black to deal with, because black has been cut into two. And if I give black a move anywhere, this move is actually Sente to capture these two stones in a ladder. So if this move has any effect on this one stone over here, the game is kind of over, because there's this very tricky ladder to read out. It's kind of cool. But black, much to his or her credit, plays beautifully here and plays out a Joseki, a quasi. I should say it's not really. I guess it's close to a Joseki, but it's like slightly better for black. But I guess that's what white pays for playing such a hard, tricky Joseki. But it is very complicated. It's a very complicated Joseki, with several actual main line variations as well. So black, after this, basically dives into the corner, tries to separate these two stones. For right now, this one black stone can get out. It can actually extend, and white has to basically give up something. So this black stone is also a nuisance, but black doesn't have time to do it until the corner has been safe, or becomes a little more safe. The pressure is on white, so white has to jump here. Black makes this exchange, and this is actually a really important exchange. Not only does it threaten to capture these three stones here by playing at E2, or E18, I guess is what I should say, it also prevents white from coming out at E14 and Sente later too. White plays here to, again, prevent black from capturing directly. This also exposes this cut. That'll be very important. But once black does this, or settles the corner, makes this exchange, black can now move this stone out. And again, this is still Joseki. It's a super dangerous. Black does this, or white does this loose net. Black comes out. White plays this shape, intending or hoping to even sacrifice this stone. Black does not take the bait. And this looks like black only has 2 liberties and white has 3. It looks like white should win, but again, if black, or if white were to actually start the capturing race, let's go to this. Or sorry, we can also start it this way, I suppose. In theory, right? 2 liberties to 3 liberties. Black actually just has this ladder variation right here to just end it. So it's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So neither player actually really wants to capture this stone. However, yeah, this is the game, sorry. In this variation, we're actually not going to give this up. We're actually going to give up this stone is the variation. This is the really genius sort of version of this Joseki. After black plays here, instead of connecting and letting black capture you, push up here. And check out what happens. Black blocks. And then instead of, again, saving the stone or running or ataring the stone or doing anything like that, you peep at this cut. Such a cool move. Because not only does it peep to capture these 4 stones, it also basically saves these 3 stones in the process. And if black connects like this, white can connect over here and again restart this capturing race. So in this case, black has to connect, and this is, black just played it beautifully. Didn't get all these little tricks right. Black sort of either saw or probably knows the variation. White does get to cut. And for the most part, the area is more or less settled. Black can link up under here. Although, actually, does he have to do it? He doesn't really have to do it right now, right? Does he? He doesn't do it in the game. He tanukis. But here, let's see. If I play this and play this, if I ignore, if I just do this, yeah. Black can always link up like this. Okay. I actually played this game a couple days ago. I didn't quite remember everything in it. Okay, so anyway, black takes this very loose move. Black does not want to get pincered here because, again, this is all a big, thick white wall for influence. So he plays this high, far away approach. I'm satisfied just to take points here. Satisfied enough. Black leans. And I don't think this is normal Joseki. I've seen this in a pro game actually fairly recently. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think I even posted it to this channel as in one of my pro game reviews. Maybe someone out there remembers it. but making this shape, which is kind of stupid looking. But the normal move is actually here. And the normal Joseki looks something like this, where you let white take the whole corner and black just takes central influence. But that's not our game. So after this exchange, white gets to play there. And white's, you know, even though the big potential at the bottom has been erased, I'm actually still happy to get this move in, just because, you know, at this point, black was the one with actually better prospects on the right-hand side. And so this helps erase them. And he plays this move, and that's good. This is actually the shape point that black would really, really like, right, if white goes into Nukis or does something else. Let's play this. Black Hane is here. If white blocks, you get this free Atari. This is just a really nice shape for black. Actually looks very much, it basically reverts back to an avalanche variation, which black would really like because it's a much fairer result. And the problem with the avalanche variation, right, is that white might actually use this thickness before this peaceful variation comes out. So let's go back to the game. So I take away the key point, even though it's a really weird shape, and black comes back and plays this. And I don't think black needs to do this right now, but he can if I care about, you know, these 8 stones, which quite honestly I still do. I do enough to continue, because this makes this, I don't have to think about this anymore. But at this point, black makes a mistake, and black throws in. Actually, I probably make a mistake. I probably shouldn't connect or take that stone, but I do. But then black makes a huge mistake and connects right there. There's no reason for black to make this connection right now. And so at this point, this game is going really well for white. Even though, you know, black can capture these 4 stones and take the corner, right? So this is, you know, maybe 15, 16 points here. And these 2 white stones are not very useful. You know, we can look up here and say black's got a pretty solid 10 to, well, say 12 points, right? So 27, a corner that's maybe worth 5. So black only has about 32 points of territory, and has a group over here that is not very well settled. And meanwhile, it's not that white has a whole lot of territory, right? This over here is only about the same size as this group here. So that's probably about 12. And this is really only probably about 5 to 10 right now, realistically. Oh, actually, I gave too many points to black here because I assumed black had already captured them, which he hasn't. So black actually has under 30 points. So even if this is 12 and this is 10 and white gets Komi, we're looking at an even game, and black has a weak group on the board while white has Sente. So I'm really, really happy at this point. So I try to cut immediately and separate them. And I don't think this is a bad idea, but in retrospect, this might have been the wrong shape to do it. I think a better shape might have been, can you guys guess? I think there. But then again, maybe not. You know, black might lean here. And if black wants to, he can connect, but this is a really, really painful connection. Because if black does this, now white can just come over here and pincer or take away the base directly and build quite a bit from this, while black's shape is just, look at this shape, this is terrible. This empty triangle with a disconnected, you know, this stone is not connected, right? Because, whoops, white can always come here and capture one. So it's very difficult for black to make any eyes down here. Oh man, that's been glorious. So, and if black plays here, I think we're very happy to cut this way now. Because no matter what white does, or whatever black does, black kind of has bad shape at the end of it. He's got 3 stones that are mostly surrounded, and 3 more stones that are, you know, have no shape yet. If he cuts this way, he's making the empty triangle, but really hurting these 2 stones. So I think my move is a mistake. I think this is a bad move. Alternatively, the other thing I could have actually just pincered directly and just made points, and I think that would have also been just fine. I'm actually not sure which one's better. Right, instead, let's see if I go, probably maybe that pincer, although I kind of want to, I'm not sure high or low. High-low is actually really hard for me here. If I go low, he's just going to lean on top and maybe make shape this way. Yeah, I'm not sure if I gained enough. This feels over-concentrated for white. I really don't know. So anyway, I'm going to pretend I should have played that one. I think that's my new favorite. But I played here, and black at least temporarily gives up these 2 stones, or at least doesn't try to save them. And instead settles the group that's actually worth something, because again, it's in the shadow of this giant white thickness. Makes an exchange, and then makes a base. So again, I play another move from here, and again, this isn't great, right? I mean, I feel like I'm capturing the smaller side. If we go back a few moves, you know, it feels like these 2 stones are really important, but they're really not. I've already played all these 3rd line stones in response to them. These 2 stones are the really important ones. And so I kind of feel bad that I sort of counterattack them so ineffectively by missing the key point. So anyway, black just strengthens this bottom and actually makes a pretty sizable, or potential, pretty sizable potential for points. And basically doesn't want to worry about these 2 stones yet. So after this, I come over here, and again, this move is trying to do 3 things really, I guess. Number 1, directly build the right-hand side. Number 2, indirectly reinforce the idea that I'm going to capture this at some point. And if they do run out, all of these points on the right will just become white. And 3rd is reduce the corner. The top has already sort of been reduced by this group, so we're just going to reduce it from this side. Black goes over there, and I play this move. And I think this is like, if there was a move of this game where I don't know what is better, like this is probably the biggest question mark for me, even during a review session. Like there's a lot of moves I can find and go, you know what, there's a better move here, or this move is bad. This move I just can't evaluate. Like, I just don't know what's important right now. And it feels like the right-hand side and helping capture these 2 stones. But would it have been better just to capture them more directly? Or potentially make some exchanges down here and see if white has any problems with the base? Or even come over here and continue putting pressure on the top right-hand corner? Or potentially, you know, get these 2 stones out? I don't know. And then, oh yeah, and then the other question is this even the right shape? Or would have this been better? And I kind of suspect this would have been better. Like, I think, I'm not sure if any of these other ideas are better than just taking a big point right now, but I think this point would have been better if I'm going to take that big point. And I think you'll see why in a moment. But yeah, it's just, it's like so many, like this is the part of a Go game that I have such trouble evaluating, because it's not Tsuji, it's not really reading, it's not even really like, it's definitely not Fuseki, it's definitely not Joseki, not something you can look up. But whenever, I think for me at least, and maybe you too, you have the opportunity to review a game with a professional, really spend some of your time going over who took the big points on the board and when, and whether or not that was a good idea. And if so, why was it good then? And if not, why not? Because I think this is a mistake that a lot of Q players make in particular. Maybe not necessarily in this situation, but there'll be some crazy fight going on, and all of a sudden they just abandon the fight to go take a big point. And you're like, no, there's a fight. You can't, the timing for taking a big point is really wrong. So anyway, I played it, and Godspeed. So now white's going to activate these 2 black stones now that he's strengthened the bottom. And again, you can see now that, you know, black basically already has this exchange. This white stone would have been more comfortable a bit further away, I think, at least. And then black tries to counterattack to expose this cut and save these 3 stones by attacking this stone. I make this exchange. Black makes some sort of shape, but I have this sort of running sequence, and I feel comfortable enough at this point to come back and cut here, at least temporarily. So black's got a running group. Now granted, black has a friend over here, but again, the prophecy is accurate. It looks like white's going to get to build the whole right-hand side for free. Black, of course, connects, doesn't want to have this group come under attack Having 2 weak groups is a really bad idea. And then I continue putting pressure on over here. Again, I want to make sure that my group isn't the weakest on the board, so I need to strengthen mine before really doing anything else. And here I think I make another mistake. Is it this move? Oh yeah, this is inappropriate. I think it would have been okay if I want to continue down here. I was trying to play a fancy shape, right? And I'll show you what's the nice things and the bad things about the shape that I made. But I think it's actually better just to take a stone. And because taking a stone really does provoke another black response of some sort, most likely here. And this move by itself actually doesn't guarantee 2 eyes, so I shouldn't feel bad about letting black take this point. I guess black could take this point too, but then it feels like I can play another Sente move, and then maybe another one, and it feels like black really only has 1 eye. Whereas, if we go back to the game, by playing here, when black plays here, this is actually a... Is it Sente? It's not even Sente. No, I guess maybe my move is fine. Is it fine? I really don't... I took there. I think I just misread. Yeah, the problem with playing on Taijim is you play a lot of these 30-second move games, and sometimes these mistakes are really silly. Do I need to take there? I don't need to take, right? What happens? No, I just don't need to take. Alright, if I just take this. Alright, black can't do anything. Was I scared of this? Maybe? Just let black too. I don't know. I don't really know what I was thinking. Goes too hard. Yeah, maybe my move's okay, but taking's premature. Really don't need to take. I could play another move, because this is just really gote. So it'll give an opportunity for black to play out, get to try to run out first before he has to come back and live. So I think in that universe, a move like this, right? Black still has to do this. But does it make a difference? No, I can't push and cut there. This push-cut doesn't quite work because of this move. Ta-da, snap back. Ta-da. Crane's nest shape. Yeah, I should just play there. Yep. I should have just played there. That's it. So anyway, this is bad. I should take the outside. And it actually, the other nice thing is if this move actually helps this group, I never have to worry about this stick ever again if I play this move. And yeah, even though black can do some things here to basically make 2 eyes, I still have this ko if I want to fight over the points. Or if I just connect, does that give black 2 eyes? I guess it does if he plays this way. Right, because there's this eye space. Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying really, really hard to not let black get 2 eyes. And I guess technically I succeeded with this sequence. Oh, right. Yeah, I prepped this. Yeah, this is how this whole deluge of terribleness started. So, because I really want to make this cut now. Or at least threaten the cut. Or the peep in the cut. Some combination of exposing the defect over here. So I wanted to strengthen this group. So I did this, of course, by strengthening it here. I'm going to weaken myself over here. Like so. And now black gets another move. Once I come back to fix. So, let's drink some tea. And be sad for a little bit. Because it really doesn't look like white has a really good way of actually cutting here. But we can try. If white pushes and cuts. Does this make 2 eyes for black? What black does here and here? Maybe not. Maybe that's only 1 eye. Oh, maybe I could have done this. Right? Because I have to play here, I think. The problem with that is this is Sente. Is this a good enough response? Probably not. Almost definitely not. So the thing is, this cut does work, but how do you prevent black from getting 2 eyes at this point? Like, there you go. So maybe it can't be done. Oh, right, I want to peep first anyway. This is my other idea, but the peep doesn't really do anything. Right, black just comes on top. All right, so in the game, I played the peep. Is that the game? That's really the game. Yep, that's the game. Right, because we got into this stupid ko thing here. It's not really that good of a ko for anyone. But I played it anyway. And yeah, before we even analyze what happens next, let's just quickly count the score. Actually, on the review box, we do have this score estimator. Right now, it's giving white a 7-point lead, right? Assuming this is, still left as white at the end of the game. White makes this at the end of the game. Black doesn't get anything over here. And this is actually before Komi. And the top gets actually reasonably reduced, and white gets a few points. This is very optimistic for white, though, this count. If you look at the estimator here, you can see that white has this group of stones that doesn't have a home. Black will certainly profit from them. This shape is also not very settled. Hopefully these two weaker shapes can connect and be strong, but it might take a move or two. There is an invasion over here. There is weakness in the white shape, so even all these, we'll say this white stone and these 4 white points, these are definitely not definites. And of course, if black wins this ko, then none of these are necessarily points down here. So it's a very optimistic score for white. Yep, black just has no interest in continuing the ko, or letting me try to cut here at these points, because there are cuts. This said solidifies the shape and puts more pressure on my stick. So, stick runs out. Black takes ko. And here, I don't know why we're fighting this ko. Black, it's just points. It's just points at this point. Of course, I guess if black wins the ko, then black will never have to worry about any sort of cuts over here. But already, between these 3 stones and these 2 stones, this connection is basically there. I don't think there's actually any good way for white to cut. I did look at it for a while. But that's not going to stop me from trying. So anyway, this is my ko threat. And this is a very common type of reduction move on the side, on a side position. 4th stone and 1 space jump. Black tries to respond very strongly. This is not the answer I was expecting. If we go back a move, we can't go. No, mouse. What's my mouse doing? My mouse is jumping. No, so go back, refresh, go back a move. All right, review. I expected black just to play here. And just have black keep everything safe and strong. And even if white takes this Hane, it's not, black can just sort of deal with it. And white's kind of in trouble. This is what I expected. But black was really, really nice to me. Like, really, really nice. Because instead of that move, black decided to Hane here for some reason. I don't know why you would play this aggressive move when you have your own weaknesses here. Like, if your opponent is weak and you have the potential for making connection problems, just play the strong move. Like, this is such a mistake on his part. And he just wants that 1 stone. So I fully intend to give it up, but I'm going to increase the sacrifice by 1. And again, I don't know what he's thinking. It's just, now he's realized, oh, I should go after this. But the problem is now that instead of playing this move right away, I get to push through and make this cut. So even though black was, white was technically quasi up in terms of points on the board, it was really black who had all the potential to make profit here. But when he leaves this weakness, oh man, it's just so good for white to have weaknesses to take advantage of. And notice we've abandoned the ko, right? The ko is just points, basically. Black plays here, that's good to Suji. I peep up here, I I have regrets about that move, but we'll deal with that later. I don't think my move is bad, but it's just, it doesn't actually do much, is the problem. If I wanted to respond locally, it might have just been better just to connect. Like, that might have been the better local response. But either way, instead of coming down here, which I'm not actually 100% sure it works, like, black could have just exchanged this, I think. Like, if I, what do I do? If I push through here, black just plays here. Something like this, and black gets a huge corner. White gets the capture. Where does that put the estimator? The estimator says, yeah, the exchange is very good for black, though. Because before, these were all kind of questionable points for black, and now that's all black. And white really didn't, I mean, white caught a big group, but it's not as big as this gargantuan thing. So maybe, I don't know, black was just overly worried about these stones. And again, if they live, maybe there's still pressure here, but black turns out can't read very well. Yeah, I take a ko. Why do I take the ko? I have no idea why I took the ko. Terrible. Terrible. This ko is just not, like, it's big-ish in terms of points, but this is so much more important. And, you know, black plays this connection. I think this is slow here. Actually, I think it's bigger just to, again, solidify that corner. Because there is this Atari, and this is a part of the game where black says he doesn't know how to read. Because I take this Atari, I take this Atari, I play here, which my thinking was that black should just let, you know, maybe give up the corner, and then, you know, try to make some sort of eye space here, come down over here, and then can resume the attack on this giant stick. But he doesn't want to read at all. So he's just going to try to shorten the liberties. Again, same idea. Should just probably play over here now or come back. I don't know. But he insisted on taking the corner. And the corner is big. But after white plays here, this group of 5 stones is completely captured. And that makes my stick very, very strong. This is actually a lot of point. This is a big point swing. Right, this let me cut through the black corner and its extension. And even though black does get to keep the corner this way, I do make this exchange, and black gets that for free. At this point, I guess black needs one more move here to really make this corner any sort of size, so he plays it right now. And if we look at the estimator here, it's got white up by 5 without Komi, and white really has no problems left on this board. Right, all white has to do is make sure black can't make the middle into anything big. Which shouldn't be a problem because there's still some weaknesses with this connection group over here. These 2 black stones aren't really going to build anything. These 2 white stones aren't going to necessarily build anything, but they might help in also reducing. So right now, we're looking really good for white. Like, I think, you know, if we go back to the game, I think white should just play something over here. And that way it helps, you know, or actually maybe even just attach. Maybe that's better. Do something over here just to help this group, make sure that we're strong so black can't build anything, and maybe we'll find a few points along the way. Like, I think that's the correct way to play Go. That's not what I did. I managed to blow my entire advantage right now by taking this Go. And so that's great. That's a few points, but it's not important because now black will get the first move over here on the left. And I've just, actually, let's see what the estimator says. Oh man, why is my mouse, like, my mouse, the battery thing's not on. Do mice just die? Like, is that a thing they do? I'm not sure if you guys see my, like, cursor occasionally flickering when I'm trying to, it's not doing it now. Oh, anyway, when black plays here, we were going to look at the estimator before my mouse got chunky again. And now it says black wins by 17 before Komi. So, at least according to the Taijim score estimator, the value, I was up by 5, between white taking this and black taking this, that was like a 22-point swing. That's how many more points black now earns. How can it be 22? There's only like, I guess there is like 20 points there. All right. So way too slow. This is the action. And so now we're playing behind. Again, this has been a swingy game. At least I think it's a swinging game. And furthermore, this not only does this stone build the left-hand side pretty directly, it's on the 4th line, and it's got some momentum against this new target. So now it's time to try to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and I kind of go on tilt. Because at this point, I don't know what the score is exactly when I'm playing this game, but it's pretty clear that I am behind, at least in terms of going forward in this game, in terms of potential. So I look at this cut, and of course black plays there. And locally, this is probably an okay exchange because it now lets me come back and take this. And this is not small. This is like 8 points, so I can gain part of it back there. But then I try this, and this shouldn't work. Like this should just not work. Oh, actually, my peep is really good. It's actually a really good move here because I can't play this before this. I forgot I played this peep. So I thought at this point in the game, I was expecting me to just play here, and then here, and then get some sort of, cut fight thing this way. But of course, it doesn't work right now because black can play here, and then just connect here. And if white tries to cut, there's actually just there's nothing. White just gets captured himself. So actually this peep, I forgot that I played it, but it's cool that in the game I did, because white totally needs something here, otherwise this cut has no hope whatsoever. So making that peep gave me a little bit of hope. So now I try this sequence. I think a better sequence is to actually attach here first. Whoops. And try to do it this way. I think this is a better way. Because now it's very clear that if black can't actually cut me off, right, if black Atari is this way. And so maybe there's something here that I can do. So black would feel compelled to do this way. And if black does this, well, now there's definitely a cut there. So black is compelled to probably fix this way, which I think is actually it's pretty close to the game. So let's just go to the game. Yep, there's the game. So now I still gotta, this cutting stone doesn't work inherently, right? There's still too many black stones around, so I gotta make more mischief. So I play this attachment. Again, black's is trying to seal in this white stone, prevent, any sort of, real cuts to his connections from happening. I play the crosscut. I'm partially not, this crosscut's nice because it gives me a lot of forcing free stuff, and it has the potential to actually help that group quite a bit. Black decides to help his weaker stone in a very direct way, but the problem with that move is that white basically gets to connect up the cutting stone. And he didn't have to, right? He could have just, whoops. He could have just let me capture a stone and stayed connected. But, we're at the part of the game where white needs to make something out of nothing. And so somehow I did. And then here, maybe black finds this acceptable because he's looking at my group of 3 white stones and going, well, he can just counterattack it. So I have to work really hard to make sure these stay alive. So again, black just makes shape while putting pressure on it. Takes this peep. And now, after I've successfully cut off this center group, well, I guess I should say that while I've successfully cut off the center group, black has actually managed to turn the left-hand territory into basically black. Although I try some more shenanigans. Right now, we take this Atari and this Atari, and we make some shape down here. And I think black pees his pants a little bit. Like, again, I don't remember which Byoyomi period he was in, or which one I was in, but we're all in Byoyomi at this point. And, all white needs is one more move to make a live group down here. Which would basically cut away all black's potential. Now, at the same time, if you see my white group here, this white group's pretty dead. I think, yeah, black is just not sure what to do. Because, again, if this white group lives, actually the corner needs to live as well. This black corner looks very, very eyeless. Well, actually, I guess that's not true at all because he just has to capture 4. So I think he gets confused. Maybe this next sequence, but he comes in here and he throws in a stone. I'm not really. I guess it takes away eyes and Sente, but it forces me to have an eye. Like I'm okay with these exchanges, and he comes down. So right now this white group looks like it's going to die, but there's actually a situation because white can always take this Atari, where actually white can come back and capture these. I connect here first, again making sure. Well, this actually guarantees that this is Sente. And actually, I think I read out this capturing race during the game, too. When I'm in Byoyomi, I have a hard time remembering exactly like what I played sometimes, because I'm trying to read too many things. But yeah, did I read this out? I feel like I did. If I take this Atari, and then white plays here. Oh no, black has enough liberties. Yeah, so that doesn't work directly. So apparently my move is just bad. Is there any way for me to... Oh, what if I go on this side? That's kind of a neat move. Oops, if I do... I let black play here and I play here. Does this change anything? Here. There. This looks like Ko. Whoops. Yeah, that wins or Ko. That's probably Ko. Maybe I do have this placement move. That doesn't work right. I have to take away the liberty. Yeah, I think like this placement move actually works for white. Okay. Cool. So the game... Oops. Yeah, so black did take away this liberty. And I played over here, but I think in the game I didn't actually see this. Right? This just works? Is there another... There's this Ko, I guess. Because this doesn't quite work. There's no time for black to do that. So it's some sort of weird Ko, I believe. Well, that's cool. Maybe my win wasn't so lucky. Although I guess this move's too much for black right now. All right, but anyway, I come over here, which again is threatening to start a capturing race between this one-eyed group and these 4 black stones. Black plays here, and at this point I just have to give up this because I don't see this move, which makes me so sad. So sad. And I decide I have to come back and try to save this stick group, because this stick group is in so much trouble. So much trouble. Black takes this Atari, short the liberties, and again just tries to net me in. Try push. We make these exchanges, and then this is the luckiest move of the game right here. Because when I play this, black doesn't realize that this actually starts the capturing race on these 4 stones. And black needs to probably just come back here and connect immediately. So I got really lucky here. Black does short me on liberties, and then continues to short me on liberties, thinking that, you know, these stones are connected. He can just capture this way, and he's completely safe, and I'm destroyed. But oh my god, the magic. The magic is real. I take the Atari first this way, and again, yeah, man. Actually, do I have enough liberty? So right now, if I play this way, I actually don't have enough liberties to actually do that sequence anymore. Right, because black captures that first. So my little move here no longer works because white is short of liberty. So I guess, I don't know, maybe black saw that and that's why he played the way he did, making sure the liberties got taken away. But again, it was this move that was too greedy. It was so greedy. Right, if he just plays, whoops, no. Play this one, white connects, black still kind of has this move. Actually, and this is just there's like nothing here for white, right? Because this is bad. It's really, really bad, like all dead kind of bad. Or does this now work? No, black dies. Alright, so maybe that seems to work for white. Unless black can just do this. Is that gaining liberties? Not really. Nope. Alright, so maybe black actually doesn't have time. Black should probably just make the corner live, make all this solid, and then let white connect over here. And that'd be fair. But we'll go back to the game. Black pushes there. I take this Atari. That's absolutely Sente. I'm not sure I needed to take that Atari, though, in retrospect. Do I need it? Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that Atari is a mistake. I thought I needed it in this read because of this throw-in variation. But here, white is kind of actually going to not trick black. Black's already kind of been tricked. But black's going to get owned. That's what's going to happen. Because here, black needs to connect up. Let's go to the game. Oh, right, Atari first, then this. Black connects. So right now, white actually has 3 liberties, and black really only has 2. Although I guess one of them are shared. So one liberty shared. Is there 2? There's no sequence here, right? Because, yeah. Black needs to connect somehow over here. But no matter how black connects, there's a problem with the connection, right? If you do this, is there ko? Not really ko. Oh, it is ko. It is ko because if black, all right, so black takes back, white has to extend. There you go. That's how you start the ko. This would have, I think, would have been black's best sequence at this point. Is this ko? Because there's no time. Oh no, there is time. Oh, that's not ko though. Yeah, sorry. No, not even ko. Yeah, of course. Black extends. If no, that's Atari. Of course. Yeah, it's ko because black can Atari with the next move. Okay. All right. It's weird when I don't put the ko threats out on the board, but I think you can sort of follow. All right, so black connects this way, and right now, white has an instant counter just to throw in here. That still shorts black liberties. If black takes away a liberty, like here, so white only has 2 liberties. White has this Atari, and then this push, and if black connects, that's self-Atari. It's magical. Made something out of nothing. So lucky. So black just gives up, and let's capture these 2 stones. That makes 2 eyes for this whole group. Amazing. And now black still needs a move to come back and live. So white connects and then pushes down. In the end, gets to capture these 2 stones. And so now we got a game again. Black's center group still doesn't have quite guaranteed 2 eyes, but it looks pretty much like there's going to be eyes there. Black did make these top points, did make all these corner points, but white got all these side points and all these corner points and a little bit at the top to compensate. So right now this is looking really good for white. Maybe, let's see what the estimate, I think white's, I'm just guessing, maybe up 5? No, white's up by 19, way off. How did I miscount this? Yeah, I guess that's really small. All right. Yeah, all right. Way off, and terrible guess. But after this, yeah, black gains there. I guess it was black's move, so 19 was really optimistic. And I play this clamp, and once again, my opponent had shown me that he can't read. And so he's going to show me really hard again that he can't read because he plays this out. I take this Atari this way. And just, there's no connection here. There's just not... He's just got a stick of 8 stones that he ran into my base, basically. He just let me cut off. None of this works, because I can read and he can't. I just win the capturing race. Actually, I guess I do give up 2 stones. And there you are. And does he resign here? No, he plays a couple more and then he resigns. And so at the end, though, I mean, white's up by 30 after Komi. Like, this was just icing on the cake. White was already up, but... Oh yeah, and there's still this move here, too. That's a really big move. So, yeah. So this is a lucky win. Why was it so lucky? Well, because my opponent was greedy. And I think that's how most lucky wins happen, right? Your opponent does something really greedy. He doesn't quite read this out. He takes this liberty away, thinking it makes everything fine. But it turns out... I've got this sequence here to counterattack. Just never saw it coming. Just never saw it coming. There is no reason for him to have to force this either. I think he can still win just fine without capturing all this. Because this is already dead, right? He can just, like, this group of, what, 4 or 8 stones. He already has, between the corner and here, 20 points, another almost 20 points, another 20 points. I mean, how does white compete with this? There's not 60 points on this side. That's white's only main territory. So, yeah, it's a Taijim game. I mean, this is the type of thing that happens. Again, these games are pretty fast-paced. I really don't, like when I play, you know, a real game, I usually like, you know, like if it were up to me, I like an hour of main time's pretty good. Actually, what I really wish Go would adopt is a different time system rather than the Byoyomi system, and use something like a bank time system where each move you have 30 seconds or a minute, and if you need more time, then it comes out of your bank, rather than using your main time, and then once you're out of your main time, you're in Byoyomi for the rest of the game. I think that's actually more fair to the players. Maybe it's less exciting. Maybe Byoyomi is just inherently more exciting because, you know, when 2 players are out of time, then the end of the game comes and, you know, everybody's just reading as fast and as hard as they can. But anyway, that's my official position. I'm not sure if I've ever made an official statement on what I think, you know, any of these Go associations time settings should be, and clearly Byoyomi is not going anywhere. But I would like bank time. Yeah, I think there's a fancier name for it. It might even be called something like Fisher time or something. I think there was a chess player that lobbied for it. I don't remember if it was Bobby Fischer or not. But it very well might have been, actually. Anyway, if you guys know anything about the bank time system, you can probably just Google it and put it in the comments. Put it what it's correctly called. That would be a nice thing to add to this video. So anyway, I'm happy I got a lucky win here. I was actually really happy when this happened, because I was like, yeah, you know, just, you know, totally reverse the game here, being able to connect these 2 groups. But I'm not proud of this game either, you know, like I was really happy about it, so I wanted to show it to you just because it made me happy, but I'm also not proud of it. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.